Today, we are pulling back the curtain on a condition that so many people live with, but very few truly understand: fibromyalgia. We're going to get into what it is, what it actually feels like, and why calling it just pain doesn't even begin to scratch the surface. And this, right here, is where the trouble starts. If you have fibromyalgia, I bet you've heard some version of this before. It's that doubt, that look in someone's eye that says, "I don't believe you." And honestly, that can be almost as painful as the condition itself.
So let's tackle that idea head on. You don't look sick. Why is that such a common and hurtful thing to say? Well, it's because fibromyalgia is the classic example of an invisible illness. On the outside, everything can look totally normal.
Yeah, see, fibromyalgia is basically a whole collection of these invisible symptoms. Think about it. You can't see a migraine. You can't see exhaustion. It's not like a broken arm and a cast that everyone can point to. The entire battle is happening under the surface, and that creates this huge gap between what a person is experiencing and what the rest of us can see.
Okay, so talking about invisible symptoms is one thing. But what does it really, truly feel like to be inside that body? To really get it, we have to start with the one thing everyone associates with fibromyalgia: the pain.
And that brings us to the core of the diagnosis, this idea of widespread pain. But let's be really clear here. We are not talking about a simple muscle ache you get after a workout. Oh no, it's way, way more complicated than that.
For a long time, doctors had a specific way of diagnosing this. They would check 18 specific tender points on the body, 9 pairs. And if you had pain in at least 11 of those spots when they pressed on them, that was a huge red flag for fibromyalgia.
And these points are, well, they're all over the place. We're talking about the back of your neck, your hips, the inside of your knees, even up in your chest and collarbone area. It just goes to show how this isn't a localized issue. The sensitivity is body-wide. And here's the really weird part. The pain doesn't stay put. The source material uses this great analogy. The pain is like a tourist. It just decides to travel. So one day, your left shoulder might be screaming, and the next day, it's gone from there, but now your right hip is on fire. It's unpredictable, and that's really disorienting.
But here is the absolute key to understanding this. It is not just about pain in your muscles and joints, not by a long shot. Fibromyalgia is like a full-body siege. It affects systems you wouldn't even think were connected.
I mean, just look at this. You've got serious gut and digestive problems, like IBS. You've got sharp chest pains that can feel like a heart attack, but it's actually inflammation of the cartilage in your ribs. Then there's the crushing fatigue, nausea, and just this general blech feeling. That sense that your whole body is just off. It's a full system malfunction.
And that malfunction brings us to the brain, because this isn't just about the body's hardware, it's about its wiring. The entire communication system gets thrown into chaos. The best way to picture this is to think of your nervous system as a massive network of highways. These are the pathways that carry signals from every part of your body up to your brain. It's all about how the central nervous system is processing those signals. Now, in fibromyalgia, that highway system is a total mess. There are detours, sudden roadblocks, and the trucks are carrying the wrong cargo. A signal that should just say light touch gets rerouted, amplified, and by the time it gets to the brain, it's screaming danger, pain. So the bottom line is, the information arriving at the brain is scrambled and completely unreliable, and that is what causes the infamous fibro fog, that feeling like you're walking through a thick cloud. It's also why you get hypersensitive to touch and those bizarre pins and needles feelings. The wiring is faulty. This all leads to one of the cruelest parts of fibromyalgia, the fatigue paradox. On the one hand, you are completely, utterly exhausted. We're talking a bone-deep, can't-get-off-the-couch fatigue. But you can't sleep, or at least you can't get the restorative sleep your body needs. Why? Because all those faulty pain signals and neurological static keep your brain on high alert, so it never sinks into that deep, healing sleep. You're exhausted, but you can never, ever recharge.
So when you've got this constant physical pain, this brain fog, and this relentless exhaustion, well, you can imagine it's going to take a massive emotional toll. And this isn't some separate issue. It's a direct result of everything else.
Think about it. Your nervous system is constantly getting these amplified, jumbled pain signals. Your brain interprets that as a threat, that something is wrong, that you're in danger. So your body gets stuck in a permanent state of fight or flight. Is it any wonder that this leads to high anxiety, depression, mood swings, and just feeling irritable all the time? Your body thinks it's under attack 24/7.
So to really put this all together, let's just try for a second to imagine what it's like to navigate a single day with this, to understand the sheer scale of what someone with fibromyalgia is juggling all the time.
Okay, so you wake up. The first thing you do is a pain inventory. Where does it hurt today? It's not just one spot. It's a shifting map of soreness and spasms in your back, your neck, your knees, your chest, your shoulders.
But on top of the pain, your stomach is a mess, and you feel nauseous. That deep fatigue is already weighing you down like a lead blanket, and you're trying to think through that thick brain fog, all while feeling anxious and dealing with weird nerve sensations in your hands and feet. And then you have to try and function. You have to concentrate, manage your mood, and deal with headaches and stiffness, all knowing that you probably won't be able to sleep well tonight either. When you see it all laid out like this, you start to get a sense of the incredible, invisible weight that people are carrying every single day. But here's the thing. Amidst all of that, there's this really powerful shift in perspective. The source says it perfectly. When you have so many bad days, you learn not to waste a single second of a good one. That old cliche, every moment counts, for someone with a chronic illness, that's not a cliche, it's a survival guide. It's their motto. So we want to leave you with this thought. Now that you've had a look inside the storm, now that you can see the invisible battle, how can you be a better ally to the Fibro warriors you know? How can we all move past just being aware and start offering real, meaningful support?